The recent technological advancements are wild things that have given us a lot of opportunities to learn and connect. At least that's what we've been told. Or has it? A close introspection will clearly reveal that the only purpose that the technological revolution has served is disrupting the minds of the masses, turning them into a flock of sheep that are easy to mislead, cheat, and rule. George Orwell, in his 1949 book, 1984, presented a vivid dystopian imagery of a future totalitarian state of Oceania. In that book, the ruling English Socialist Party created a new and harshly controlled language of newspeak to meet their ideological requirements in Oceania. This language involved simplified grammar and restricted vocabulary to eliminate subversive concepts such as personal identity, self-expression, and free will. This may seem like a hyper-exaggerated situation, but this dystopia has become real now more than ever. This new restricted language is of the internet, social media, and mainstream news, and the ones in control are the big tech and billionaires belonging to the top 1% of the population, with more accumulated resources than 90% of people. This techno-savvy world of online interactions and digital ecosystems, which was introduced as a promise for a better life, is now being shoved down your throat by big tech to extract as much information about you as possible. But the question arises, how? How can you be persuaded by something non-physical? How can someone take away your free will? Actually, what happens is far beyond just the physical aspects. It is psychological suggestion. Andrew Lewis, known as Blue Beetle on Metafiler, once posted, "If you are not paying for it, you're not the customer. You're the product being sold." This grabbed the attention of the internet worldwide and effectively surmises every free product of technology. The seemingly free apps and social media that you use on the internet are not at all free. The reason you don't pay for it is because you're not the consumers. Rather, you're the product being offered. In their confrontations with Congress, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Google CEO Sundar Pichai clearly stated that their revenue-making strategy is through running advertisements. They're actually selling your personalized attention to anyone who wants it and is ready to pay for it. Everywhere you see, from planning an outing or buying a product, all your decisions are heavily influenced by the new restricted language. It is just like your free will and personal choice are non-existent and clearly non-influential for your own decisions. Now, some of you may ask, how can someone make me do something that I don't want to do? The answer is simple. Show a lie enough times and everyone will start believing it to be true. The tech industry itself isn't as rosy as it looks from the outside. It has its own share of internalized politics, company rivalry, and intellectual property thefts. Who can forget the era of rivalry between Apple and Microsoft during the most iconic corporate battle of Macintosh versus Windows? Each of these companies was constantly trying to overpower the other and wasn't reluctant to take any extreme measures to do it. Apple even put several allegations on Microsoft of stealing internal plans and secrets. Mark Zuckerberg has also been accused by his ex-colleagues of stealing the concept behind Facebook, not to mention the serious data theft and leaking scandals it was involved in and has been penalized for in several countries. Google has repetitively enshrouded their biased search engine result algorithm under the cover of secret algorithms. It has also been subduing small tech enterprises, making their already tough entry into the tech business next to impossible. How can someone trust the convoluted and disrupted vision presented by these so-called tech giants when they have shown time and again that they cannot be loyal to their own community? As said by Cheryl Hughes, when people cheat in any arena, they diminish themselves. They threaten their own self-esteem and their relationships with others by undermining the trust they have in their ability to succeed and their ability to be true. The flag bearers of the digital age who promise to usher in an era of elevated human cognizance and convenience have actually turned out to be its pallbearers. The idea of a free society, guided by intellectual freedom to think and make decisions of their own, is constantly being rubbed under the boots of the manipulative ecosystem that we constantly surround ourselves with. Bob Dylan said, "Steal a little and they put you in jail. Steal a lot, they make you a king." As far as big tech and media is concerned, this is a bigger reality now more than ever. Ask yourself, when was the last time you didn't buy a specific product because it was suggested to you several times by a so-called Instagram influencer? When was the last time you did not believe in the narrative that mainstream media is showing and dug to find the deep buried truth? When was the last time you didn't believe everything the government told you and contacted an actual expert? Ask the right questions and you will see the truth unfurling right in front of your eyes. The reality is that our minds have been polluted and our free thought has been disrupted. The influential people, companies, politicians, and media have purposefully caused these disruptions with the sole intention of making our vision short-sighted, vocabulary restricted, and our voice muted. The world we are living in is no less than George Orwell's Oceana, and the language of newspeak is slowly being injected in our lifestyle with more pronounced effects generation after generation. So what is the way to exit this dystopia? How can we get rid of this psychological oppression and stop being treated like a product? This raises the call for a society guided by reason and critical thinking, instead of just swallowing every piece of information that we see on our digital screens. We need to open our minds and start analyzing every bit of information to arrive at our own decisions regarding its credibility and usefulness. Don't just believe something because you see a lot of people iterating the same thing at a lot of places. Always try to use your own intellect to exercise your own personal thoughts and free will, and break free from the vagaries being put in your way by those sitting in their high chairs. We can break away from the purposeful disruptions and turn down the English Socialist Party of Oceana only when we start questioning everything before believing anything. Have the courage to lift your head, to see where you're being led to, instead of following a trail shown by others with your gaze fixed downward on the road. After all, Bryce Courtney must have surely looked into the future when he said, "Pride is holding your head up when everyone around you has theirs bowed. Courage is what makes you do it."